Right folks, welcome back into the garage. Today we are revisiting this old vintage motorized bike and we're going to be putting a new engine on it. So if you're any bit familiar with the channel, you'll recognize this bike as the vintage motorized bike. And that wasn't the right footage. It used to have this 5 horsepower 1980s or so Briggs and Stratton engine on it. And although this engine really fit the style of this bike, it still was slightly unreliable, hard to start, and just didn't have the power I was looking for. So to make this thing a little bit easier to ride and perhaps a bit faster and more powerful, we are going with a 125cc fully automatic ATV engine. Anyways, I'm going to start off with making some space for the engine, mounting it, and then we'll see if we can get it started. Alright folks, so as you saw, I went and made this nice little bracket. It's mostly just meant to support this bearing from the engine pulling that way. So pretty much this bearing is solid in there and it's not going to be shifting while we're gassing on that engine. The reason I made it as a bracket instead of just something that welds on and then bolts to the bearing so that we can take this bearing off with not too much fuss. Now all I have to do is unbolt here and here and then the whole bearing can pop off. And the next thing we got to do is actually mount this motor onto the frame. And then as you can see, the carburetor is just about hitting the frame. Luckily I got this guy right here and it's actually a different angled elbow. Hopefully that avoids the frame. So let's try that first. As that battery box is cooling down, I'm cutting out this high heel looking piece, and that's going to be my last gusset for the bike, and that's going to be the frame connecting to the front forks. So I'm kind kind of chipping away at this wiring here, and I'm gonna start with the solenoid, which I thought usually they're kind of attached to the electric start itself, but in this case I guess not. So I have to find a way to attach this thing to the frame. There's no real mounting points on it. So my solution is this pipe right here, perfect diameter, fits right in there. I'm just gonna cut it and then weld that part to the frame, and then we can just shove that guy in there. Oh gosh darn it, so it looks like the wheel came out of the little socket it has back here, so I guess this dang thing's junk. For those of you who watch the channel, you'll know that I don't really do advertisements, but Gunk was actually nice enough to send me some of their degreasing wipes that they wanted to show off. Basically, it's an all-around wipe. I can use it on my engines, I can use it cleaning up the workbench, my tools. So what's cool about these sheets is they're the largest on the market, and one side is rough while the other side is soft, so you can scrub with the rough side and then wipe your hands with the soft side, which is pretty convenient because you know me, I never wear gloves. Yeah, so if you want to know more about the wipes, be sure to check out the description. I send a link for the Gunk website and go check it out.